All right, good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your 12 p.m. stretch break. TJ here. For today's class, you pretty much won't need anything but yourself. So we are going to stand and we're going to start with our feet wide and we're just going to reach down the middle. So let's try to keep that back flat and keeping those shoulders back. So if you feel like you're dropping down and your back is a little rounded, try to flatten that out the best that you can. And you may not be able to reach down as far, but just feeling that stretch through the back of the leg. Keep going. So still keeping that back flat. I now want you to move towards your right side. So where your hands are touching the right side of your leg. And now I want you to walk it over to the left. Again, feeling that stretch a little more on one side versus the other side. And then I want you to walk it back towards the center, still keeping the back flat. And again, keep the shoulders back, so if they're dropping down, try to kind of pull them back a little bit. Not so much so to where I'm not asking you to pinch your shoulder blades together, because that would just create tension we do not want. All right, and now I want you to pretty much start to stand, but then take your left hand and reach over towards your right. Now I want you to go the opposite direction. So right is now reaching towards the left. Nice job. All right. So I want you to take your right foot and I want you to turn your right foot so that your right foot is pointing out and your left foot is still pointing straight towards the camera. And I want you to hold your hands out to the side and I want you to lean into it just a little bit. So that foot that's pointing towards the other direction, towards the wall, is the side that I want you to lean into. So just think like your yoga poses, if you're familiar with yoga poses. This would be part of that warrior pose. So then if we transition and I ask you to straighten that leg, and again, left side is reaching towards the right. Again, still part of the warrior pose. And again, feeling that stretch a little differently than we did the first time. All right, so come up slowly. Now I want you to turn your right foot back to the normal position that we started in, and I want you to turn your left foot out, and now going back to that warrior position, and again, leaning into it, and feeling the stretch through the inner thigh. And that transition of straightening that left leg, and again, left or right arm is reaching towards the left. And again, now we feel the stretch through the other side, through the inside. Nice job. All right, so turning both feet in, but still maintaining that wide stance. We're now just going to bring some blood flow and some mobility into those shoulders. And so I just want you to circle your hands. So you're pretty much going to bend from your waist And you're just gonna let the arms hang down. And we're just doing arm circles. And your arm circles, they could go, you know, any which way. So whether one goes clockwise and the other one is counterclockwise, or you kind of feel like they make like this infinity sort of sign, you know, when both of them are moving together. Nice job. All right. So let's stand. So the next one that we are going to do is another movement. And this one is where our hands are going to be in front of us. And I want you to round out your back. So imagine like we think of that cat position with cat-cow. So round out your back, but as you pull your hands back and you pull your elbows back behind you and you're sticking out your chest, which would be very similar to our cow. So our cat-cow positions. And so then push your hands away, arch your back like a cat. And again, pull back. And then push away. So again, putting that curve in your mid back. And then pull those arms back, pull those elbows back. And one last one. So again, that arch within that mid back, and we're stretching out right between those shoulder blades. Pull back one last time. And let the arms hang. All right, so now we're going to stretch out through the front. And so with your hands hanging down, I just want you to lift. So just lifting your hands behind you or your arms behind you as far as you can without necessarily like cheating by like bending, you know, by arching your back. And I want you to wrap your arms around your body like you were giving yourself a great big hug. And I want you to roll yourself down or roll your spine. Again, that whole being a slinky. So that crazy 80s toy where you push it down the stairs. And it keeps going. And so you're just traveling down, feeling that stretch along the spine. And when you get to the very bottom, your hands just drop down, reaching for your toes. And again, it's okay this time to have that roundness in your back or that curve in your back. And I want you to rewrap your arms around your body, your upper body, giving yourself a great big hug. Slowly rolling it up, one vertebrae at a time, until you get to the very top. Just do a few shoulder circles going back. Nice job. All right, so let's do some neck stuff. I always feel like we tend to save that towards the very end, but working on the neck, all right? So right ear to right shoulder, and again, you could use your right hand to just gently pull on the left side of your head. And if you so choose, you can stretch out your left arm just a little. And again, the pull on your head does not need to be anything big. I want you to feel the stretch, but I don't want you to overdo the stretch. So feeling that underneath your left ear, traveling down the left side of your neck. And now I want you to look up, and now I want your chin to go over to the right side of your shoulder. And I want you to move your head like you're looking down, like you're looking up. Looking down, looking up, looking down, keep going, and back up. One last time, and back to center. So now we're going to go left ear to left shoulder, and your left hand is going to gently grab or gently pull on the right side of the head. And again, out stretching or reaching out that left arm or right arm. And now feeling that stretch underneath the right ear, traveling down the right side of your neck. Nice job. All right, so release. All right, so now your chin is going to travel over towards the left side of your shoulder. So as far as you can get it, this one can be a challenge for people because it's kind of like you would look over your shoulder if you were trying to see who is in your blind spot when you're driving. All right, so now moving the neck up and down. So look down, look up, look down, look up. So still feeling that stretch through that back right side of the neck, behind the ear. So like I was saying, when we talk about like thinking peripheral vision, that peripheral vision can get skewed, when you're trying, you've got all that tension in your neck and you can't look over your shoulder. One last time. Bring it back to center. So now this time is going to be us looking down. So chin is going to touch the chest. And if you want to add that same sort of movement like we did with the right and the left side, I want you to look down, chin touches the chest. But as you look up, keep your mouth closed and pushing that lower jaw forward so you feel the stretch underneath your jaw. And then moving it back down to where your chin touches your chest and feeling that stretch in the back of your neck when you look down. And looking up, pushing that lower jaw forward, feeling that stretch underneath your neck. And if you so choose, you could just stay in one position versus moving through it. Give me one more. Last time. Awesome job. All right, so I want you to extend your left hand with your palm facing down, your fingers are pointing downwards. And I want your right hand to grab your left. So I'll turn just so you can see what that looks like. So stretching out those muscles that get used a lot when we're typing. Bringing some relief, especially to those muscles within the lower part of our arm. And now I want you to take that same left hand, giving yourself a pat on the back, like you did an amazing job. And I want your right hand to grab your left elbow and stretching out the tricep, which is the back of our upper arm. Nice job. Going back to the hand, same left hand, and now this time you're going to move that stretch. So instead of grabbing your palm, you're now going to grab your fingertips, the tips of your fingers, not including your thumb. So your right four fingers are hanging on for dear life to the left four fingers. And feeling that wrist a little more than you would throughout instead of the rest of the arm. Now let's make that switch, and so I'm going to switch now to the right hand. So the left hand is grabbing the right palm. So not the fingers, just the palm. Feeling that stretch. throughout the lower part of our arm. And now I want you to put your right hand flat on your back with that right elbow straight up in the air. And your left hand is grabbing that right elbow, stretching out the back. One last and final stretch is us extending that right arm again out in front of us. And this time you're now grabbing, left fingers are grabbing the right fingers. And again, feeling that stretch through the wrist or so. Actually, we'll do one last quick stretch for a moment. All right, so one last quick stretch. If you are standing, you need to hang on to something like a wall. Otherwise, try to work on your balance. Try to stabilize your right ankle if you were standing on your right foot, or vice versa, but stretching out that the left quad, so the muscles that are in the front part of your upper thigh. And again, if you have a hard time stabilizing yourself, try to look out 3 to 4 feet in front of you. All right, one last side. So grab your right foot. Again, hang on. If your stability or your balance feels a little questionable. But again, try to remain steady. Try to keep yourself upright. Nice job. All right. So if you are in the fitness center, there is group cycles starting in about 12 minutes here in the fitness center. And then there is yoga sculpt tonight with Beryl, which is virtual at 4:30. Have a great day, everyone. Come see us if you're here. Bye.